Good morning, Ridge, and welcome back to another edition of Tribe TV. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Nick. On this week's show, we'll take a look back at last week's football game versus Near, meet the Lumberjacks, and take a stroll through the halls with Mr. Daly. Stay tuned.
The Road to Torque speech and debate team will be hosting a statewide interscholastic tournament on Saturday, September 21st. The team is searching for student and parent volunteers to both help run the competition, judge refunds, and if you are interested in volunteering, please see Mr. Flickner in 8204.
2019 through 2020 yearbooks are now available on sale on My Payments Plus. Order yours today. If you're a new student here at Ridge, you would definitely want to pick up a copy of the yearbook. And you'll certainly want to watch this next video.
My bad, he wasn't paying attention.
It's cool. I'm trying to figure out my way around the school.
Yeah, the school's pretty big. It's like double the size of my own.
What's your name?
Yeah, man. Well, I gotta go.
What's your name?
So what's wrong?
I don't know, man. I'm not really going to school.
Yeah, it can be a little intimidating at first, but you just need to give it time. Just time.
You think so?
Yeah.
Alright, man.
Psych!
How could this be? Turns out, you can't trust everyone. And I didn't even know his name. I thought I had been a new friend. Why? Why me? I'm the new kid.
Maker Club will be starting Maker Hours every Wednesday from 2:10 to 3:30 in I-206. For more information, see the Maker Club Hour flyers around the school or see Mr. McClanahan in I-206.
With the rise in concern for student safety and with several athletes succumbing to heart-related deaths in recent years, the county implemented a policy where all the coaches are certified in CPR and the use of an AED device. We stopped by training at the bridge to see what it's all about.
So why do teachers have to go through CPR training?
So one thing the GHSA just implemented this year was some sudden cardiac protocols. We had a couple student athletes over the past few years that have passed away from heat-related and sudden cardiac deaths. And so what we're trying to do is prepare our coaches specifically early this year as the GHSA, the Georgia High School Association, is making it mandatory for all of our coaches to be CPR certified prior to coaching their sport.
While he might not be in charge of clubs and financial aid night, Assistant Principal Mr. Daly has a ton of responsibilities. He's a very busy man, but he took out a few minutes of his day last week to walk and talk with our very own Kat Conley.
Hi, Mr. Daly. Do you have time to answer a few questions?
I'd love to, absolutely.
Perfect. All right. Where are you from?
I'm from South Carolina originally, but I'm a Gwinnettian now.
Okay, cool. What do you do in your free time?
I like hanging out with the family. I like the outdoors.
Nice. What's your morning routine?
Get up real early to beat the Peachtree Ridge traffic, hop in the car, have my morning beverage.
Speaking of beverage, what would you choose for your last meal?
Last meal, I think I'm gonna go for breakfast, like eggs, sunny side up, bacon, toast.
That's always good. Are you a dog or a cat person?
I'm allergic to both of them,
Oh, okay.
but I think I like cats more because they stay away.
Makes sense. What are some ways that you connect with your school community?
I love going to the athletic events, seeing the parents cheer for their kids. Love going to the fine arts programs. Again, watch the parents clap for their children. It's fun to see folks in that context.
So what do you think are strengths of this school?
We have teachers who aren't afraid to hold kids to a very high standard. We have children who are not afraid of a little bit of rigor in their education. And I do think we have a very strong community.
What would you say is your pet peeve?
Probably people with pet peeves.
What would be your spirit animal?
Ron Swanson.
All right. What's the hardest lesson you've learned?
I think the hardest lesson I've learned is that you can't always take for granted that the people you love will be there for one more day to, tell them the things that are important.
That's a good one. If animals could talk, which animal would be the most annoying?
Squirrels.
Where would you like to travel to next?
Ebenezer, Georgia.
If you had the world's attention for 30 seconds, what would you say?
Be nice to each other.
What's your cure for hiccups?
You know the rabbit story?
No, I don't.
You ask somebody a whole bunch of questions about a rabbit until they think about it, and they realize their hiccups are gone.
What's the funniest joke you know by heart?
So my dog keeps chasing kids on bikes, so we had to take his bikes away. Pretty good.
If you could write your own job description, what 3 things would be at the top of your list?
Instruction, coordinating discipline, and overseeing safety and security.
Nice. What do you say is your leadership style?
Leadership style. So I do believe that a good leader is a good servant. So simply finding out where there's a need and trying to fill that need and support the folks who are doing the work.
Interesting. So what do you think is the difference between discipline and punishment?
So discipline supports, discipline teaches behavior, teaches folks to behave in ways that make them successful. Punishment hurts and discourages, and unfortunately sometimes is necessary, but I'm not a huge fan of punishment.
Think of the most important factors for ensuring a safe school environment.
Everybody being on board.
Nice. What in your education background has prepared you for this job?
So I had a lot of really great teachers and great professors along the way who modeled the things to do. I had great administrators and great principals. As a student, as a teacher, as an assistant principal, that kind of taught me the ropes.
What tips or tricks have you picked up from your job?
I think just being attentive to the need that is in front of you.
If you were given $5 million to open a small museum, what kind of museum would you create?
That's a great question. I got $5 million, so I can do all sorts of museums. We can have like a museum of string, we can have a museum of like old arcade machines. We can just, every time one goes under, I can open up another one. I'm excited.
Nice. I like the idea of the Museum of String. What's the worst hairstyle you've ever had?
This one's getting a little shaggy. This one's getting rough.
All right. Did you have any pets when you were little?
Pets? Yeah, I got dogs and cats, goldfish. I have a lot of fish now, too.
So I think we're done here. One last question. What do you think you're most excited for this school year?
This year I'm getting to work with the CTE department, see all the exciting things that they're doing. And it's been really cool so far, so I'm very excited to see how that turns out.
Nice. Well, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, guys. You guys have a great day.
You too.
Last week, our football team dropped its season opener against Lanier. We were there calling our game on our YouTube channel, and we'll be there again this week when we host Brookwood. With more sports, let's send it over to John.
Thanks, Maddie. Let's take a look back at Friday night's game.
Pick things up on Lanier's opening offensive drive of the game. 3rd down and 5 in the red zone. Botch snap takes the Longhorns all the way back to the 35. They will force a punt. Lions D also coming up big in the first quarter as they fall on the football in the end zone after a botched handoff. This will result in the Lions' first points of the game, up 7-0. Tied 7-7 now early in the third quarter. Kyle Kingsbury, 254 passing yards on the game, 21 for 33. Finds wide out Brandon Wright right here for the 13-yard catch and run. Stiff arms a guy at the 2 and falls into the end zone to give the Lions a 14-7 lead. You see him whipping out the air guitar right there, going to greet the kid with a celebration. Great for the Lions. Lanier would respond, though, with a 44-yard strike on their very next drive. That's senior wide receiver Cole Thornton for the Longhorns, catching it in the end zone, just looking like pitch and catch right there. So early on in the fourth, tied 14-all. Lions trying to punt it away. It's a botch snap over the head of kicker Albert Jang, though, corralled in the back of the end zone. Kicks it up in desperation, and Lanier would end up catching it and falling into the end zone to give the Longhorns a 21-14 lead. Down to touchdown now, 2 minutes left in the game. Need a stop on 3rd and 12, and it's number 33, Carlos Fuller, with a big sack. Lions' final chance, 4th and 5. A slant route over the middle falls just incomplete, intended for Brandon Wright, and Lanier Longhorns would take over on downs and knee it out at Peachtree Ridge High School and escape with a 21-14 win.
After the game, 4 players received Prep Football Offensive Honor Roll honors last week in the loss versus Lanier. Kyle Kingsbury was 21 of 33 passing with 254 yards to the air and a touchdown. Michael Hernandez had 8 catches for 108 yards, Ashton Turner had 116 all-purpose yards, and Alex Carmen had an 87% blocking grade. The Lions will be back in action tomorrow night when they host Brookwood. Our softball team's record is 8-4 overall. Here's a closer look at their season.
My name is Alex Harris.
My name is Riley Hudson.
I'm Madison Strange.
I am Josh Joyner. I'm the new head softball coach here at Peachtree Ridge.
The team means a lot to me. It's like a second family and we're all really close.
This team has a lot of energy. They're a lot of fun to coach. They've got a lot of fun things about them and fun personalities surrounding them.
I love him. He's very different. We have more discipline, and he brings us together as a group more.
What am I planning to improve? I honestly just would like us to get better every single day. Just to work hard and get better.
Motivated. Hardworking.
Energetic.
Intimidating.
Unified.
Passionate.
The softball team has a home game tonight as they host region rival Collins Hill. We hope to see you out. Now back to you.
Another group of highly selected seniors head up to our tribe, our student section here at the Ridge. They're known as the Lumberjacks, and they're the ones getting everyone hype at the football games. But do you really know who they are? Let's find out.
Choose your character.
Hey, I'm Max Forbes.
I'm Ian Tippett.
And I'm Garrett Walter. And we're Grayson's Lumberjacks for the 2019-2020 football season.
Football game this Friday night. Be there, be loud.
They're super fun. Make sure you come out and be crazy.
We look forward to seeing you there this Friday.
Yeah! Go Lions, baby! Hey, let me get some blocks and Ric Flair!
Well, that's our show for this week. I'm Nick.
And I'm Maddie. Thanks for stopping by.